Hi everyone, and welcome to the Free Range Diva. A couple of days ago, our county declared a state of emergency due to the outbreak of the coronavirus. A few days ago, I also realized that I am sick. So it seemed like a pretty good time to talk about the virus, what it is, how you can best prepare to fight it, where to go to get good information. Basically, all the things coronavirus that I could find that I thought might be useful. We're going to start this by talking about what are viruses, and they are an organism that needs a host to survive. When they don't have a host, they will go dormant in the environment and become metabolically inert until a satisfactory host comes along, and then they will start to replicate. They invade cells, and they begin to divide and keep replicating until they take over that cell. Then the cell explodes, releasing more more of this viral matter into the surrounding cells. Viruses have the ability to mutate quickly, and that is why they are so difficult to stay ahead of and to come up with, for doctors to come up with things like vaccines or preventatives that will protect you, or even treatments that will kill the virus and protect you. If you've ever had a flu shot, for example, and then, like within a month you've gotten the flu, raise your hand. Yes. That's why, because they mutate so quickly and they produce different strains. And a vaccine might kill one strain, but then the next thing you know, the virus has changed and it's a new strain and the vaccine is no longer effective. This particular coronavirus has been more challenging because there was not a lot of testing. For example, in the United States, I think the first person that was found to have the coronavirus was discovered in January. So that means that there could have been a lot more people that were exposed, that have had it, that have recovered from it, or even who may have died as a result of the pneumonia that sets in, and the whole thing went undetected. So we really don't know. When you see things on TV, from CDC or from different news organizations saying that, okay, officially there are these many people that have it, we really don't know. And I think that's why, because until we can test on a wide scale, we're just not going to know until a person becomes symptomatic. When this particular virus gets into the body, the transmission is person to person. So I believe you have to be within a 6-foot radius, a 6-foot distance from another person to actually transmit it through sneezing, coughing. You can also transmit it by if you cough on your hand and you place your hand on a doorknob or a table. The virus will stay there, and it can stay there for 24 hours maybe, I've heard, maybe even longer. No one is really sure. Once it gets into your body, it goes deep into the lungs. So the lowest part of the lungs, where it starts its replicating, and the immune system, seeing that there's something going on that it needs to take care of, launches a full-scale attack on this virus, and in so doing creates a lot of remnants, detritus, fluids that collects in the lower lung and brings on pneumonia, and then usually that is when death occurs. The next thing that I'm going to tell you is the thing that nightmares are made of, but it's important, I think, to have as much information as we can so that we know how to effectively protect ourselves and at least minimize the spread. I was listening to an interview with, I believe he's a journalist, but he has spent his entire journalistic career studying and writing about pandemics. And he was talking about the Spanish flu, which decimated the population in 1918. And he said that it started in the spring and by summer had sort of died off, and then came roaring back in early fall it mutated, and the next strain that came was much more deadlier than the first. I was talking to my friend Juanita, which if you saw my Tucson vlog, she is a gastroenterologist at the University of Arizona, and that vlog was about her. But I was talking to her about it, and she said, yes, viruses like cold and dry weather, and this particular one apparently can jump into the species bat, where it can live and wait until its preferred host, us, is in a more, the environment is more conducive to its survival. So it can go into another species, stay there for several months, and then come back again into us, the human, the human population. This gentleman that I was listening to said that the COVID-19, which is the coronavirus that we're talking about. Coronaviruses, by the way, are common. In fact, if you've ever had a cold, you've probably had one. This particular one is called the COVID-19. And he was saying that this particular one looks to be on the same track as the virus that gave us the Spanish flu. So knowing that treatments, the only treatment that we have to offer someone who comes down with this is supportive treatment. There is no, antiviral drug that is going to kill this virus. There is no vaccine that is going to stop or prevent the virus. The only weapon, the most powerful weapon that we have against all viruses is our immune system. And so it becomes crucial that we do whatever we can to really optimize the performance of our immune system, not boost it, because we don't want an immune system that is overreactive. That's where autoimmune diseases come from. And we don't want an immune system that is underreactive either. So we want to get it right in that sweet spot where it's performing at its highest capacity, and then that will then, at least you have a good chance of fighting this thing off. The immune compromised and elderly people are going to be more at risk because of this, but all of us can do things to really optimize our immune system performance. Things like eating a nutritious, I know you've heard me say it a million times, eating a nutritious, balanced diet. Lots of fruits and vegetables, oils along with those fruits and vegetables to make them as bioavailable as possible. Getting plenty of rest, taking a probiotic, or eating probiotic foods, getting warm, easily digestible broths into you, and any other supportive care that normally works for you when you're sick. There are certain herbs and things and homeopathics that work for me, but you do you. Okay, if you know that there is a particular over-the-counter medicine that knocks out flu symptoms for you when you have it, then make sure that you have that in your arsenal. Or any teas, or some people like the elderberry, sambuca, whatever it is, just make sure that you are getting plenty of that. If you supplement, if you feel like you're low and you need to take a multivitamin or extra vitamin C, extra supplementation, then be sure and do that. Basically, you want to take as good care of yourself as you possibly can. Next, listen very carefully. Do not get your information from Facebook or any other social media for that matter. Right now, social media is really bad at this sort of thing anyway, but right now there is a lot of disinformation flying across social media. One of the reasons I wanted to do this video is because I got a message from a relative, well-meaning, warning me of something that she had gotten from somebody else's who had a cousin whose dad was a member, or whose best friend was in the CDC, and they were saying X, Y, and Z. It's nonsense. It's not helpful. The other night, or last night, I saw that there is a huge disinformation campaign, thousands of these fake accounts that are spreading fake information across Facebook and other platforms designed to cause a panic. Facebook, I guess, is trying its best to sort of weed these things out, but Facebook, they're awful at doing this sort of thing. Okay, they have a really poor track record. So get off social media. If you've ever thought about cutting back on your social media presence, now would be a good time to do it. Places that you can go to get information include, this battle is going to be fought on the local level. So if you have a teaching hospital or medical center in your area, go to their website and find out what it is that they are recommending. Go to your county or state Department of Public Health, to their websites. I can link below a couple of pages on the CDC that I thought can be helpful. But even the information that the CDC gets has to come from local areas first before it gets to them. So they may be slow to, be able to give you the information that you need about what's going on in your area. When the state of emergency was declared here, there was a lot of information that was given out, practical information. If you have to be in a crowd, try to stay 6 feet away from the closest person. Things about the effectiveness of masks, what kind are effective, what kind aren't. What to do if if we're faced with school closures. There are states where there are schools being closed right now. What to do if you know that you don't have sick leave at work. They have been talking to, I guess, large corporations and other employers, trying to get them to ensure their employees that they will get paid, they will get sick leave if they feel like they're coming down with something. Because obviously, if you feel like you're coming down with something, stay home. I'm assuming it's a cold. I don't have a fever yet, knock on wood. But, congestion, sore throat, that sort of thing. So, no, I've been staying kind of quarantining myself here in my little room and not running around all over the place. As far as basic hygiene, you'll want to wash your hands a lot more often. And by washing your hands, it doesn't matter what kind of soap you use. What matters is that the friction of rubbing your hands together vigorously. I know you've seen all those medical shows where the doctors before surgery, they're under the water washing their hands back and forth like this, and then they're done, they're clean. That's what you want to do. 20 seconds of really vigorous rubbing under the water with soap will get your hands clean. That's because it's the rubbing that actually removes the pathogens. If you are traveling, yes, there is a type of mask that actually will protect you. It's called the K95. It is 95%. It blocks 95% of pathogens, and you need to get one that fits well. You're not going to find any masks at all in your neighborhood, more than likely. I went to 5 different grocery store, drugstore, Target yesterday looking for the next item I'm going to be talking about. But suffice it to say, there was nothing in terms of gloves or masks, which is the other thing that I would recommend. If you happen to have gloves, wear them, meaning rubber gloves. If you're going to be, like I said, traveling on a plane, in a public building where you're going in and out, it's just a little extra protection, because again, these pathogens live on surfaces. Hand sanitizers. So yesterday I was actually looking for this right here. As you can see, we're a little low. This is 90% alcohol. Since there are no hand sanitizers on the shelves, there was none of this on the shelves. There was no 70%, like normal 70% alcohol. There wasn't any of that on the shelves. There was no cold medications. There was nothing. People are panicking, and it's really hard to get stuff right now. So, and I mean, even in Target, there was nothing. So if you do have 90% alcohol at home, then you can make your own hand sanitizer. You'll need a 60% solution, so 2/3 of the rubbing alcohol to 1/3 of something like maybe aloe juice if you have that, glycerin if you have it, water in a pinch, and you can put that in a little spray bottle, put it in your purse, and spray that on your hands. as a hand sanitizer, and rub. Make sure to rub. And you can also, if you want wipes, for example, there aren't any of those. At least there weren't that I found yesterday. Sanitizing wipes, you can cut up some fabric, soak it in that solution, that 60% alcohol solution. And again, you want 90% if you can get your hands on it. Soak it in that and then put it in a plastic bag and put that in your purse. There may be times when you go into a public restroom and they have no soap. You can cut a sliver off a bar of soap, put that in a travel soap, container, and put that in your purse so that you have it. Guys, same thing. I know you don't carry purses, but you carry something. Yeah, for cleaning, I do, around here, I have made a solution that is a third of isopropyl, 70% alcohol, 2/3 water, and a big squirt of dish soap, and I use that spray around on, like bathroom surfaces, door handles, things like that, the stair rail, stuff like that, since I do have a cold right now. When cleaning, use a microfiber cloth because that is better at picking up bacteria and pathogens than just regular cloth. If you feel sick and you want to go see your doctor, call first if you're going to an emergency room or your doctor's office, because often there could be protocols in place to keep you from infecting other people in the waiting area. So they need to know you're coming in. There may be a separate entrance, or they may have a station where they'll give you masks or whatever, but it's best to call first before you go in. And of course, you know what the symptoms are. Again, you can go to the CDC, the pages I'll link below, to give you the symptoms, what to look for. And if you're interested, there are lots of doctors here on YouTube that I'm sure are covering this right now. So the information is out there. Just get the best information you can, and that's your best weapon to keep yourself healthy and safe, and your family as well. So I think that's pretty much everything I wanted to cover. I'm going to close with just one more warning about something that came in to my email today from Norton. And apparently there are phishing emails going around that look like they're from the CDC or the WHO, and they're asking you they're offering you, if you click on this link, they will give you more information about what's happening in your, like outbreaks in your immediate vicinity. Anything that comes from the CDC or the WHO or any of those organizations that you haven't requested, get rid of it. They don't send out, emails to individual people saying, hey, we have some info for you. They don't do it. So just get rid of that. I mean, it's despicable that people are now trying to profit off of this, but people are despicable. We like to believe in the best of human nature, but this kind of thing brings out the worst. So that's where I'm going to leave it for today. If you are worried, I hope that this will help has given you some info that will help to allay some of those fears, because it's not time to panic yet. All right, we have we have medical professionals that are there, that have information that will help you. So use those resources. Thanks so much for watching, everybody. This again is an extra video. I'll see you on Tuesday, and until I see you in that next video, I'm wishing you a wonderful day, a wonderful week. Take good care of yourselves, and I will talk to you again very, very soon. Bye, everybody.